Ta-da! So welcome. Today I'm going to be talking to you about yoni eggs and when your eggs doesn't want to stay within you. When your eggs does not want to stay within you. So there are many reasons. The more I work with women and the more I develop my own practice and the more I realize that, those of you who have messaged me and spoke to me and asked me and told me that, your egg doesn't want to stay in, I've started to see a lot of pattern developed. So some of the things that I'm sharing on my channel, observation from consultation that I've done, observation from my own practice, and things that, when I exchange with people who ask me questions online or wherever about the yoni eggs, things that I've noticed. And I've noticed that even though there are a variety of reasons why your egg may not want to stay within you, that's why I will say this video is more of a general video. It's the specificity of why the egg doesn't want to stay has to be specific to you as an individual, as a woman. It cannot be, I cannot use a blanket statement for all of you without knowing your specific case. But I will share with you two of the most common reasons why I see this happening over and over. Where the egg will stay 10 minutes, 15 minutes and pop out and refuse. Sometimes it's going to be very painful, even though she puts the oil on it or whatever lubrication she puts on it. It's still hard putting the egg in. Normally your egg should go in very smoothly. Your yoni should gobble it, swallow it, like aspire it. I don't know how to say it. Just call onto it, grab onto it, okay? It's supposed to be an easy process. You're not supposed to be struggling with your own self to insert the egg. And this is really important because it speaks about your own relationship. Where are you forcing yourself? Where are you forcing things? Go to the egg when the egg calls you. And when you feel like, okay, I have to insert it now, when you probably have some work to do and you call to do that. Not just because, oh, it's been a while. Because those are okay reasons, but it's much deeper when you actually feel called to work with the egg, when you actually feel like, okay, this is the right time, this is the right moment. That will help you distinguish between, oh, I haven't worked with it and I heard somebody who's working with it right now and I want to have the same experience, so I'm going to barge in and push it in. So don't push it in. It's supposed to just go inside with ease. It's not supposed to be a struggle, okay? If there's a struggle, that means put the egg down and let's reflect on the other things that are happening within yourself that you need to be checking out. And the eggs, because in my practice I always say start with the roots. There's no need to be going about clearing your throat chakra or expressing stuff that you haven't even cleared your insecurities or anything like that, or opening your heart when you have all this baggage behind you. There's no need to have a new relationship when you're dragging out all the bags from the old ones and your insecurities and all of that and barging that with your partner and have him have to deal with all of that. It's much wiser to cleanse and clear all of that your own self, do your own part. Of course, there's going to be certain things that you will only be able to clear once you have that partner, and that will help you with that. But there's plenty of things that you can do on your own and you can do for your own self, and by starting at the roots. So the two things that I've seen and the reason why I've seen that the egg doesn't want to stay there. The first one, which is one of the most rampant, the most common, is that a client will say, okay, I know exactly what I need to work on. I know it's this issue, I've observed this issue, or some psychic told me this is the issue I need to go on, so I want to program the egg just to do that. And so when she starts using the egg is popping up something else. Something else is showing up. And instead of addressing this something else, she's going to be so focused on, no, I know what I need to work on. And that's when you start going into this spiral where you want to push the egg in. The egg already showed you, and the egg is going to mimic your own behavior. You're refusing to look at what the egg is showing up for you, so the egg refuses to go in because it has nothing more to show you unless you yourself are willing to actually do the work. Honey, I think it's important to pay attention to that. It's like asking for help, and once you get it, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to do the advice as sound as it is. And so I can see you're trying to force the egg doesn't want to come in. You may want to rush to do another subject. You may want to rush to go do, I don't know, some other workshop to learn about some yoga, some meditation, some other things. And just like the egg, I'll tell the client, I'll be waiting. You can do all of the other things that you want to do. I'm not going to work on you on a different subject. I'm not going to work on you with a different egg. I'm going to be here waiting for you once you're ready to work on exactly what the egg initially told you. And so you may take your time, you may also refuse, you may go around and find another practitioner, buy another egg from another person. Because the way I work with Yoni egg is very specific. And not just any form of vendors. I have a very specific practice about it. I don't have a website where everybody can just come barge and buy Yoni eggs. For me, it's really a personal relationship, because it is that personal. It's something that's going to be going in an intimate place, and where I want you to really invest yourself and be sure that you actually want to do the work. I'm not going to be all over the place with you. You can go and explore tons and thousands of different techniques and different things, and clearing chakras, the root chakra, and all of the different stuff. But to me, I won't go on those journeys with you. Those are journeys that you can take with other people or the teachers, as you please. But I'll be there waiting the moment you are ready to finally work on the issue that the egg brought before you. And that egg apparently will not go in to do some other work. But believe me, the day you will feel like you're ready and you want to do that work, you will see how much ease it's going to go back in. And it's going to help you sort things out. So that was the first thing. The first thing was that when you actually been shown what you need to do and you refuse to do it, you don't want to do it for whatever reason. I mean, good or bad, it's not about blaming you or anything like that. You have choices. And the egg, so does the egg. Okay? And I think this is also the difference of approach. There are many people teaching about Yoni eggs. There are many people selling and providing Yoni eggs and purveying Yoni eggs, but not all of the perception and the techniques are the same. Not all of the ways to work with them are the same. And so if you want to explore something else, you can always find a teacher. Find a teacher that resonates with you. Find a teacher that really, when you're hearing some of the take that they have and stuff like that, it actually resonates with you, and you are ready to and willing to put the time to invest and do that. Don't just take some random anybody like that. And for me, I tend to be very intentional. If I accept to work with you on that, I accept to work with you the way the eggs wants to work. Okay, the egg is not your servant. The egg is working with you. So that's how I approach it. The egg is a spiritual tool. It's not just some inert gadget or some sex toy or something just to physical to muscle yourself or anything like that. For me, it's really a spiritual tool. A spiritual tool that is a being of its own. Okay, and approaching that with respect. When for me, Yoni egg practice is a sacred practice. As much as for some people yoga is sacred, for me Yoni eggs is a sacred practice. I revered I revered and honor the crystals we work with, the way they work with us, the way they are actually willing to help us and assist us. To me, I look at it as a teacher. The teacher is showing me something I need to direct my attention to, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to go run around to find some other teacher and jump from hoops and do this and go climb Mount Everest and do all kinds of different things. Well, I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's a different take on in terms of the practice that you want to do and how you work with the Yoni eggs. But what I've seen very frequently is that the egg is showing you what you need to do, and instead of wanting to do that, you refuses. So the egg refuses to stay within yourself, within you. Now one of the second most popular common reason why the egg is not going to stay in is when you have a physical ailment. Okay, maybe you weren't sure, maybe you haven't been officially diagnosed, maybe you already know, for example, that you have fibrom or you have all kinds of different ailments, and you are turning a blind eye, you're not taking care of that, you're not addressing that. But you expect the egg to go into that environment, to go into a diseased environment and do some magic. Some magic that you don't want to actually express and see and address. No, the egg is going to be just like you. It's going to take that same attitude and be like, no, it's not going to go and do it. You don't want to do anything about it, so why would the egg want to do something about it? So that's why I always ask, you know, when you want to have yoni eggs, I ask if you have any physical ailments, if there's anything wrong with you, if there's anything that is not how optimal, the optimal way that it should be. So that you take the time to think about that. You take the time to actually wonder, to actually know how you feel, to reconnect with your own self, your own body. And if you do have those type of elements, now it takes the time to take care of those. And you have so many opportunities now. You have natural remedies. I mean, there you have tons of naturopath practitioners, whether it is in the diaspora or in Africa, all over the world now. You have, you know, nutritionists. You have all kind of people having all kind of solutions for you that you can explore. So there's no excuses, especially on things like fibros and all the different things. It's something that has become so rampant and so common that also the people have been a lot more talkative about those kind of issues and providing solutions that you can search and find people who have experiences with that. And if you are looking for resources, I can give you resources. You just need to write to me, and I'll give you some resources that you can go use and people you can go check that have dealt with clients who had similar issues. I've never had fibroids personally, so I don't really know what it is like, but I've seen women who had them and I've seen them address that. It is not something that you want to live with. It's something that you need to address that so that they can go away and so that you can actually enjoy your life in a state of health, of full health. It's your choice. And the same way, it's your choice if you refuse to, if you don't want to deal with it, it's your choice as well, and you're free to make that choice, beloved. And so is the egg. The egg is free and has a choice not to go in an environment that's diseased, especially when you're unwilling to address that. It may be different. You may have fibroid and all kind of things, and your willingness to reach for a state of health, a state of well-being, while you're doing other things, you can combine then with the egg, and the egg will stay in. That's different. But when you have that reticence within you, the egg also can say no. That's why it depends on each woman. It depends on the egg as well, and it depends on the situation. This is one thing that I've noticed, that a lot of women who refuses to, who decide not to take care of that, and be really serious about it, the egg tends to mimic and reflect that back to them by refusing to go inside. So it's just something to take in consideration as you develop, or if you're considering holding a yoni egg practice. So I hope this video was quite long, but I hope this was useful, and if anything, you can leave your questions and comments below, or email me if you have any messages, or if you want a yoni egg consultation. So I hope you're having a wonderful week and day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.